Here's the truth. If January had a mascot or a motif, it would most certainly be the snowflake. And as our homes come down and calm down from all of the Christmas decor, all week we are celebrating the various forms this white sparkly shape can take. Over the next 5 days, we've invited 5 different talented artists to show us how they snowflake, creating different projects from their different art mediums. Now, if you took a drive down historic Main Street in Bountiful during the holiday season, you saw many of the shop windows were dressed up from the inside out. These painted white snowflake creations and scenes are the work of artist Holly Bailey. She says if you can draw a triangle, you can draw a snowflake. And she is inspiring us to try our hand at window painting today. It's so great to have you on Studio 5.
Thank you for having me.
You are so talented, and it's so fun to see your work in the window. Do you like doing window art?
I love doing it. I started it pretty young just because it was something simple, and if you mess up, you can just erase it and start over again.
Sounds like something an artist would say,
Yep.
because you don't do a lot of messing up or erasing. We're out in the green room because it offers kind of a peek, a free window that we can demonstrate on into another studio, There's layers of studios here at KSL. Tell me, Holly, what we might need. I love the idea of maybe dressing up our own home windows in a similar fashion. What supplies might we need to pull this off?
It's pretty basic stuff. I mean, I just use acrylic. You can get any brand. White is great for snow.
Yeah.
You can add little blues and purples in there. You can also use chalk markers.
Okay.
Probably not the oil ones because they're a little harder to get off later. You don't want to be scraping your windows up.
But you're saving us the work down the road.
Yeah, and basically it's just little water. You know, I've got some little papers here. We can, I'll show you some little tricks.
Do you need to prep the window at all? Like, you're going to clean it. Does cleaner or Windex, would that affect?
Windex is perfect.
That works.
That's all
it's
you
not
need.
going to affect the paint.
Yep, pretty simple stuff.
You sometimes use a template, or at least beginners can use a template?
Yes. So I have templates that you can usually stick on the inside of your window for little kids that want to do it.
Yeah.
And then they can just kind of trace over it and makes it a little easier for them.
All right. Will you show us? Will you teach us how we might do this?
Yeah. So I'll teach you with the chalk marker first, and then I'll let you kind of try it too.
Okay.
Chalk markers are probably the easiest for little kids, and then maybe the mom or the adults can do like the paintbrush.
Little kid / Brooke, right?
Yeah. So basically, a snowflake is just 5 lines, and snowflakes aren't perfect. Just have fun with it. You can't mess it up. Doing little lines that join, and this looks, I'll go a little fast, but doing little lines that join in, it's basically just shapes.
Connecting shapes.
You can do diamonds, you can do circles, you can do, and then all little dots.
So start in the center and build out.
Build out.
I guess start with that cross shape first.
Yep. And then just do, I mean, you can't get this wrong.
Well,
snowflakes aren't perfect, and everyone is different.
I was just going to say, we learned that in elementary school, right, as you're folding snowflakes, that no snowflake is created equal. So I guess your creation does take the prize because it's its own thing. Can I try?
Yes.
What if you wanted to get fancy with the paint? Then what?
For color-wise?
Yeah, or any sort of shadowing or these flourishes that you've done here?
If you want to add color, sometimes you can do like a little shadows underneath. You can do some parts that are, see, I've done some of it with paint and some of it with the chalk art pen to make it a little thinner and a little thicker. The paintbrush is obviously going to make it thicker, so it's just make it look like a little snowfall. It's just so much fun. And so you got it.
This is a dumb question. I would do this from the inside or the outside of my house?
You can do either way.
I
do it professionally from the outside just so I'm not moving companies' stuff in their stores.
Gotcha.
And then I can come and wash it off afterwards, and it's not going to make a mess in their store.
I think I'm creeping towards spiderweb.
No, you're good.
I think I need a little more extension and a little more fun because we jumped holidays. Here we go. Will you show us some of those flourishes you did and how you got those swoops like so?
Yeah, it's basically, you want me to swipe that?
Sure.
It's basically just do some tiny little, the trick is doing tiny little swoops and then bigger swoops and then adding on to that. So you can do a tiny little swoop and come in and do a big swoop, color that in. It's a little bit faster with a paintbrush. And then you can come in and overlap them.
Oh, look at you.
And then do some little bumps on them. You can do more little. Just have fun with it. You
This
can't
is
get it
mesmerizing.
wrong. I mean,
you know how we got sucked down that Instagram hole about a year ago of people frosting cookies?
Yes.
Right, and we just wanted to. It was so mesmerizing and soothing. I feel the same way watching you at work. When you look at a window, how do you know where to start? Is it always from the corner out?
It depends on if it's your home and you want to still see out the window. It's really fun to kind of focus on like the corners. So you can do a few little flourishes in between, but then you can see your Christmas tree or your in and out the windows, and then maybe going the opposite end, like I've kind of started here, and then it kind of frames the window a little bit.
On the diagonal.
But yeah, if you have shorter little kids, have them do a little scene along the bottom with snowmen and little houses and trees and.
And are you just water wiping as you go if you need to do touch up or if you made a mistake?
Basically just get a little paper towel or a little, Clorox wipe and just wipe it off and start over.
What's the most elaborate project that you've done as far as windows go?
Windows.
Bountiful Main Street was impressive over the holiday season.
I have fun at that store. She basically lets me have my creative freedom, and she gives me a little bit of a guide. But I've done some of my funnest stuff on that store. I just did some gingerbread houses and little lanterns, basically this concept. And I did a little frosting around it, and then just did some little gingerbread houses and detail and stuff. And yeah.
And as a professional, do you map it out ahead of time, or are you freehanding like we saw you do today?
Normally, they'll give me an idea of what they would like, whether it's a character or, hey, we want Christmas or winter or something. Other than that, they just are basically,
go, Holly.
Just make it look awesome.
Go, go, go. If I was going to use this template, I'm processing now, I could tape that to the other side of the window, right?
Yep, so you tape it on the inside of the window, and you can print off a bunch of different sizes. And you can add on to, little circles or triangles, start with a basic template, and then the kids can trace over it and then just take the paper off at the end and have a cute little scene.
What a fun art project. Women I know get into the chalking a lot. If you have a big chalkboard, you're looking at the templates or you're using the projector to try to make that design. How creative to take it to the window. So fun.
Yeah.
Holly, where can we see more of your work?
Oh gosh, I'm all over. I paint all over Utah. I do murals. I do all sorts of different stuff.
Do you have a website?
I do. It's hollybaileyproductions.com.
Okay.
And I'm on Instagram, and yeah.
It's fun to see how the pros do it and to be inspired in really, as you proved, simple ways to snowflake maybe on the window this January as our houses get a little blah sometimes. From a decorating standpoint, this would be a way to dress it up. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For kicking off this series. Again, show me how you snowflake. All this week on Studio 5, different artists showing their different ways to bring a little January sparkle into our homes and beyond. Thanks again, Holly. Great job.